Chapter 3 TVC Drive.
Sammy, I'm going to buy that chocolate. They say in the advertisement that it is healthy. You can't believe everything you hear in an advertisement. Think about how you are being influenced. I guess you are right. But these advertisements are really interesting. Yes, they are. Let me tell you how one of my friends had fun while making an advertisement.
Mrs. Paul was very excited about today's class. Her son Manan was gazing at her as she put a packet of noodles, a tube of toothpaste, a toothbrush, a box of energy drinks for children, and 5 different chocolate bars in her bag. Mrs. Paul was a teacher, and her son, Manan, was one of her students. They left the house and walked together towards the bus stop. As they walked, Manan wondered why his mother had put all those things in a bag. He was excited about the chocolates though.
Maybe she will give chocolate to the best students.
I hope I get a bar. Then he started to wonder about the toothpaste and toothbrush.
Maybe she will check our teeth, and if somebody has bad breath, she will give the toothpaste and toothbrush to them. I'm glad that I brush my teeth twice a day.
They boarded the bus. Everyone wished Mrs. Paul a good morning. Thoughts were racing through Manan's head.
What about the energy drink and noodles? Who would get those and why?
Manan was lost in thought when the bus arrived at the school.
Come on, we're here.
Manan got off the bus and walked towards his classroom. It was a little drizzly that day, so they had their morning prayer in the classroom. Everyone was wondering why Mrs. Paul had brought such a big bag. They finally settled down and Mrs. Paul addressed the class. I am curious to know what toothpaste you use. Can you tell me, Anusha? Mrs. Paul, I use Mr. White toothpaste. Why Mr. White toothpaste? Why not any other toothpaste? Because Mr. White toothpaste makes teeth stronger and whiter. How do you know that? They say that in the advertisement. Thank you, Anusha. Sit down, please. Sam, can you tell me which toothpaste you use and why? Mrs. Paul, I use Pearly Fresh toothpaste because it makes my teeth stronger and keeps my mouth fresh. That's what the advertisement for Pearly Fresh says. Isn't that right?
Yes, Mrs. Paul.
Mrs. Paul turned towards the board and wrote advertisement and then continued. Today, we are going to talk about advertising. Producers advertise their products to attract more customers. Can anyone name the different media on which they advertise? Manan raised his hand to answer.
Mrs. Paul, they advertise on television, radio, and in the newspaper.
He wasn't allowed to call her mom in class. Very good. All these mediums can together be termed mass media because they reach out to millions of people at once. Do you think everything that we hear in advertisements is true? Sam raised his hand to answer. Mrs. Paul, you are absolutely right. Once I bought biscuits. The advertisement said that the biscuits were loaded with cashews, but I could hardly see any cashews in them. Everyone looked at Sam. It seemed as if they could relate to his experience. Everyone started to murmur, recalling similar incidences. Just then, Mrs. Paul interrupted. Everyone, please be silent. Everyone became quiet at once. Some advertisements can be misleading. We need to be careful, but advertisements are important as well. Otherwise, how would we know about the different options we have and what the best features of different products are? You are right, Mrs. Paul. My father works with an advertising agency. He thinks of new ideas for advertisements. That's great, Disha. Today we are going to do the same. I have brought some things with me. One by one, I will take them out. I will give you some time to think of an idea for an advertisement. Then I will ask you to come and present it. You can even form a group to enact your TVC.
A
TVC?
What's a TVC?
I think that's the name of a scooter.
No, Manan. TVC stands for television commercial.